Hello, my beautiful Bhava babes. Welcome, beautiful Harmony Purdy. Hello, my beautiful human. I'm so glad you're here, honey. Thank you so much for joining today.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Okay, we're going to have so much fun today. All right, really quickly before we get into the nuts and bolts. Hi, folks. If you're watching, please leave a comment and let us know you're here. We can see eyeballs, but we can't see who's watching. So let us know you're here so we can give you some love and good energy. And if you're catching us on the replay, make sure to leave a comment. You can do hashtag replay just so I know you saw it, and eager to hear your comments from today's conversation. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Ingrid H. Turner. This is the Bhava Broadcast, Spiritual Renewal with the Bhava Spiritual Mission. I'm the founder of the Bhava Spiritual Mission, and we are a digital church. We are here to help you live in partnership with spirit. And we do that by helping you move from fear to love. And we have a number of different ways that we do that. One of which is this broadcast with me and whoever I am lucky enough to get to bring on and join me today. And the other way is through our Bhava certification program, which we are currently enrolling for. Okay, go to bhavamission.org. It's right there on the homepage. Learn about our program, our ministry, what we're offering, and sign up for our free Bhava event on July 6th. Come learn about the mission, the program, meet the leadership team. It's going to be a really good time for everybody. No obligation, of course, but come check us out if you feel drawn to me, to Harmony, to the mission, to what it is that we're all about. Thank you so much. We are so, so glad you're here. So today we have Harmony, who has been with Bhava since its inception. You were part of the very first group that went through our training program for psychic development, energy healing, and really just honing in on those spiritual gifts. And so you stuck around. It's been amazing. And Harmony is one of the most gifted psychic mediums I have had the pleasure to bring through the Bhava program. She is truly a phenomenal channel for divine spirit. Her mediumship abilities are through the roof. She is deeply psychic and intuitive, and I just watch her move through life as a woman, as a healer, as a minister with the Bhava Spiritual Mission, as a mother, as a wife. Leading by example and living in partnership with spirit. And it is such a fucking pleasure. So did I miss anything, Harmony?
Oh my gosh, that was such a beautiful intro. Thank you so much for that praise. That felt really good and juicy.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. It's all true. It's just what I see. Awesome.
I think you got it great.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad you're here because, we were chatting about what we were going to talk about, and Harmony, like today's topic actually came from spirit for you. Like, you need to talk about this. And when you told it to me, I was like, oh my God, of course we need to talk about this.
Right.
So today is really about understanding where our spiritual and psychic and healing and energy and channeling gifts show up in our lives, often in ways that we don't even notice them. I always say, like, everybody is psychic. Everybody is psychic. And it's up to the individual whether they move towards that or away from that. And if you have a draw to it, then you're really meant to use it. And it's really fun to have conversations with people who are like, I don't think I'm psychic, or I don't know if I'm psychic. And then you just do a little bit of digging. Yeah. And you start to point out, like, oh, yeah, you are. And these are the ways it's showing up. And people are like,
yeah.
Really? We tend to think that you would know if you're psychic. Like, right. Wouldn't you know that? Wouldn't that be obvious?
Right. No.
And because it's so innate, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
And I think I want to just add, like, sometimes the biggest key is just that you're interested in it. So if you're watching this and you're like, I'm interested in this, that already is a big key.
That's already a big indication.
It's already a natural for you.
So. Yeah, you are a psychic bitch. So before we go too far down into our conversation, I want to take an opportunity for us all to ground in. And then I'm going to open us up with a prayer and intention and give the opportunity for anybody who's watching to share their prayers and do some prayer healing together, because I think that's such a powerful thing that we do every week. So let's go ahead and close our eyes together. We're going to take 3 long, slow, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Landing fully in the present moment. Allowing the day to fall away. And coming completely and totally into your body. Feel all of your energy pool in your root chakra. And maybe it'll feel warm or tingly. You just be aware that it's happening. Take a deep breath in and pull the energy from your root into your heart. Exhale and hold the energy in your heart. Inhale and pull the energy from your heart into your crown. Exhale and hold the energy in your crown. Inhale and pull the energy out of your body. Feel it connect with divine source energy. And with the out breath, pull that energy back into your body and into your heart. Breathe in and hold the energy in your heart. Breathe out and pull the energy down to your root. Breathe in and hold the energy in your root. Breathe out and push the energy down your legs and into your feet. Breathe in and hold the energy in your feet. Breathe out and push the energy into the earth. Feel that energy hook in with the earth's core and take a deep breath in and pull it back up towards your feet. Exhale. Inhale and feel the energy hit the soles of your feet and move up your legs and pool again in the root chakra and exhale into your root chakra. Thank you, Divine Spirit, all that is. Thank you for bringing us together, for magnetizing us to each other from all across the world. Thank you for helping us to create this net of love and community and unity. Help us stay open to the messages from Divine Spirit today. Stay open to divine healing energy today. Help us hear exactly what we need to hear in the way we need to hear it to unlock our highest potential, our highest expression. Help us receive divine love completely into our being and carry it out into our lives this week, into every interaction we have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'd like to go ahead and start with prayer healings. If you have somebody who you would like to pray for, if it's yourself, a loved one, a not so loved one, the collective, leave a comment and let us know what that is. Get it out of your head and anchored into the physical, and we can all affirm that prayer. Blast it out, push it out into the atmosphere. Prayer is so powerful. The power of your intention, of your word, of your written word, your spoken voice is freaking incredible at this time in our lives. So I would like to just send love and blast it out to the collective, to this incredible planet. We are moving into such a powerful time, and it's bumpy for a lot of people still. And I would like to send a prayer for every person who I come into contact with, who I have the opportunity to impact, to feel more at peace, more seen, more calm, and more confident in themselves, moving out into their life, into their world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anything you'd like to send a prayer out for, beautiful Harmony?
Yeah, I just want to add, for anyone just feeling like unsure of themselves or going through a challenging time, to just send everyone love right now, and that you're so needed, and just remind you of that like power within yourself.
Beautiful. I am affirming that prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Hey, if you're watching, leave a comment and let us know you're here. We cannot see names. We can only see numbers. So we have our beautiful Sarah here. Hello, lovely Sarah. I'm so happy you're able to join today. So lovely to have you here. So yeah, leave a comment. Let us know you're here. All right. Harmony, recap. Harmony is a badass psychic. She is an incredible intuitive. She is a channel for spirit. She's also working on something really, really exciting that I'm not going to share about, except if she wants to share about it, that'd be really, 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 really cool. But if she doesn't, that's okay too, but it's really amazing. She's incredible. Hello, beautiful Kathy. Hello, darling. Kathy is one of our Bhava graduates. So glad that you're on here, beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, not to put you on the spot, but like totally to put you on the spot.
Okay. Yes, I'm working on a book. Woo!
Tell us a little bit about this book.
Yes, I would love to tell you about this book. Okay. I'm going to backtrack for a minute because the start of how this book got started is also kind of juicy and yummy to me. I was actually doing a session with you, Ingrid, and in your channeling, you saw me like writing this book.
I did.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, but what would I write a book about? You know, like what would this be about? And literally, I think it was like the same day, I like sit down in meditation and I go, okay, if I do write a book, what would it be about, Spirit? And just immediately it like became so clear. And it showed like 4 different sections of this book being like, it's what you've been channeling about since you've been channeling, which is the shift in consciousness that's happening on the planet right now. And to just put it in a really small, condensed way, because I like to do that and Spirit likes to do that when I'm channeling. So this book is a compilation of my channelings, but Spirit has really made this like, even though it's all these different channelings, they've made this really clear picture about what's happening right now on the planet to all of us, like collectively, that we're all going through this massive shift in consciousness.
Massive.
And it's like they use the analogy of birth. And they have from the get-go for me, is that we're all, the earth, we all are going through this. When you're in labor, and women who've had babies will really understand this, it's an intense process going through labor. You're like, this is not easy. And so
like, no, I don't, I changed my mind. I don't want to do it.
Right. There's a lot of like, this is too much, right? But that's the analogy that Spirit uses for this time, which is why we've seen so much, like, it feels like turmoil, because a lot of people on the outside are like, there's chaos, there's all this like political, there's climate change, there's all these things happening. And Spirit says, it's because we're birthing right now. And it's like, this is part of the shift that's happening. And as we're like clearing away all this stuff by birthing this process, what we're doing is we're allowing a much greater amount of light to come into our physical bodies on this like physical plane. And we're going to be experiencing like the new earth, which is like the baby that comes once you go through this really intense process, but then you're like, have this new beautiful baby. And it's like this, we're birthing these new versions of ourselves.
Yes.
So that in like the simplest way possible, in a nutshell, is like what my book is about.
Oh, but I have had the privilege of reading some excerpts from your book, which I want to thank you for. And it's like, as soon as I opened that document, my crown chakra just went pow. Because not only that, you're also incorporating some of what we're going to talk about here today, which is like, hey, this is yours as well. Your gift as well, and how to recognize this, and talking about your journey moving into the world as a channeler. And I mean, you're a freaking incredible channel. You're an incredible channel. And I'm so excited that you're writing this book, because I can just think of nobody better to just bring this through in this way in this world than you. So thank you for talking about it, because I know that it's a baby, it's brand new, it's super fragile right now. But I love that you were able to share about that. And that's really, really exciting. So stay tuned, folks. You will be hearing more about Harmony and her book as it comes out. It's just, I mean, as soon as you open the document, you're just like, oh my God, this is groundbreaking. Just groundbreaking.
Oh, thank you so much, Ingrid.
Yeah. Okay, so that being said, let's talk about some of the, like, how would you say it, like the sneaky ways that you're psychic, that you channel.
Yeah.
And we started talking about this because we're reflecting on what it was like for us before we knew what we were, right?
Exactly.
So can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you experienced as a channel, as a psychic, as a medium, when at the time you had no idea that's what that was? What are some examples? And folks, if you're watching, leave a comment if you're like, that's me, because you're going to resonate with these.
Oh yeah, I want to know too. I'm excited to know too.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I want to start with, because this is just popping in really strongly, is when I was in high school, I actually had the opportunity for the first time to go see a medium. Like, I'd never been to a medium before, and this is somebody who can speak with our deceased loved ones. And she was like phenomenal. She like tuned in right away to a lost loved one and just described them perfectly and their energy and everything. But the funny thing is, like, I'm sitting there and I had this preconceived notion that they can just like see the person just like me or you, and they're just talking to them. And I'm like, oh my God, what an amazing gift. I'm so jealous. Like, I really wish I could do that. But like,
sign number one, you're jealous of mediums.
Right. Sign number one, right? You're like, I wish I could do that. So yeah, so I had this idea that that's how you communicate with spirit, and it must be just so obvious, right? A similar example, and I'll get back to how it all ties in for me. But a similar example is if somebody would say, like, I can hear spirit. I'd imagine it was like, you can hear this voice, like really loudly, clearly talking to you. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't occur, and same with the medium experience, but I think more often it's really subtle and it's not obvious.
Yeah.
And so if I backtrack to myself, like years later, after like finally realizing, oh, wait, maybe I can channel deceased loved ones also. I realize even as a kid, I'm a feeler and I feel spirit, but I often don't see spirit. And so for me, and I'm really curious if anybody else experiences this, but when a spirit is coming through, I feel them as if somebody's entered the room, but nobody has actually entered the room. And you can feel their energy, but you're like, nobody's actually here, but I feel them, right? So it's like, I'm feeling them, but I'm not seeing them.
Yeah.
And a similar thing, it's like, as you start to develop that, like working with you, working through Bhava, you realize as you start to focus on that energy, feeling it, then like other things will open up. Like you might start hearing words or seeing some like snippets of visuals where it's small too. Like if I see a visual, it's like, it's for an instant in the mind's eye. It's not like, boom, right in front of me, an apparition. So it's really this like subtle experience of receiving spirit.
I bet like I'm familiar with that feeling where you turn around because you swear someone just walked in the room.
Yes.
And then there's no one there.
And there's no one.
Marissa says, I definitely feel the presence of my past loved ones. Yeah. So Marissa, is it like that? Is it like someone walked into the room, or does it show up differently for you? Let us know in the comments, because this is so cool, because one of the things that's so fun in Bhava when we teach this stuff is like ferreting out these experiences with our students, and also like all the different and unique ways that spirit shows up, which is why when you teach this stuff, I'm not telling you, Marissa says, just like that, my parents think I'm crazy. I'm sorry, honey. We don't think you're crazy. We know what's up. We got this. Yeah.
Not crazy.
But it's like, well, let's see, I had to show all the different ways that it shows up. But it's fun to ferret that out because it's so completely unique. And when you're teaching this, it's not like we sit here and go, okay, this is how you do that. This is what you're supposed to see. This is, it's more about an exploration, and it's just like kind of a diving in and trying it on for size. And then next thing you know, you're like, oh, I've always done that.
Right.
People say to me all the time, I'm not psychic, or I'm not clairvoyant, or I'm not this. And we're like, okay, well, let's just untangle that a little bit. So for me, when I do mediumship, I have really body response too, but it's a different body response. Specifically with mediumship, it's a different response than channeling spirit, because it's two really different energies. And for those of you who are watching, it's like mediumship and channeling are the same behavior, but mediumship is connecting with spirits that were in a physical body. So whether that's people or animals, right, in a physical body. So it's a different frequency than channeling divine spirit, which we shorthand we use for channeling, which is channeling divine consciousness. And sometimes that comes through as like spirit guides or ascended masters or whatever. Sometimes it just flows through. Totally different frequency. Wouldn't you agree?
I totally agree, 100%.
For me, our students always know when I start yawning. It's like, I'll just start yawning and get really like tired, because it'll just come in and like it'll just shift my frequency so radically. And you know what's really interesting about that? I just got to share this because this blew my mind. So I have Welsh ancestry, Celtic ancestry, and when, for whatever reason, I was thinking about this weird thing I do where I yawn, and I've met some other people who yawn when they feel big energy, but most people don't, right? But I just decided to Google it for no good reason, except I just wonder what will come up. And I found this Wikipedia page that talks about Celtic oracles and there would be 3 of them, and they would be put on a stage, and everybody would come to like hear the oracle speak, and the audience knew when the spirits were there because they would all start yawning. And I
Oh
was
my,
like, oh my God, that's my DNA. It's my ancestry. It's just the way it comes through for me. Isn't that mind blowing?
that is so cool, Ingrid.
Oh, we got some. Kathy says, I was feeling, hearing, and seeing things all the time, but didn't realize it. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, Angie. Angie says, I feel it in my solar plexus is kind of a startling feeling. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'd love a reading. I just donated. Thank you so much. Fantastic, Claudine. We will get to you after at the end. We're going to do readings for everybody. If anybody else wants a reading, you can donate to the Bhava Spiritual Mission. Any amount. We'll be happy to do a reading for you at the end here. And that is in the description of the video. Angie says, I sometimes sneeze. It's so unique, isn't it? It's just like we
That's super unique.
I really love how many. Oh, thank you. Marissa says, I love you guys. Thank you so much. It's so fun to like connect. It's so fun when like you know what your tells are, you know?
Yes.
But that's why we're talking about it, because we often don't know what our tells are, right?
We don't.
Amazing. That's so funny. Spirit comes around. Oops, starts saying, are we allergic to spirit? Maybe some of them.
That's really funny. I haven't heard that one before. I love it.
Yeah, I love that too. Yeah. That's really cool. So when you're talking about apparitions, do you ever see apparitions, or is it just feeling and in the mind's eye?
I really can't say I've seen like apparitions like right in front of me. That would be amazing. I would love that. But no, I feel like, and I hear a lot. So like I do a lot of automatic writing is another way that spirit comes through a lot for me. And that's just putting like pen to paper and just allowing what wants to come through. And that often comes through almost like blocks of thought or actual words at a time. So it comes through that way. And also like another big one that's just popping up right now that I think probably everybody will resonate with is synchronicity. And how spirit communicates through synchronicity. And like even like right before the show, and everybody's probably used to seeing like numbers, like angel numbers, or seeing like, I saw a black feather today, and you said you saw one yesterday. So
I did. I got an itty bitty little tiny one.
And I saw a little itty bitty one too. I was like, didn't Ingrid just see one?
That's amazing.
Right?
It's amazing.
But yeah, it's like physical things in your path or little animals showing up. And what's cool about that is like once you start noticing them, you can't not see them. It's like, I don't know if other people have experienced that also, but that's also another way to like, that we're all communicating with spirit all the time, or spirit's communicating with us.
Yeah. I call that love notes from God.
I love
notes from spirit. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, that's actually, so we each found a tiny little black feather. Mine's in my van in Nashville right now, but like a little tiny black feather. The fact that we both found that intuitively, what that feels like to me is like spirit was coming and saying match. Like this right here, what we're doing is like, this is a yes. Like, yes, go for it. Yeah.
That's what I felt too, Ingrid. And I love that. I was like, oh, that's a really good sign.
That's a great sign.
Do this together, and it happened right before. So, okay. And I love that because spirit will be, it's almost like they're like, yes, you're on your right path. And that's happened to me a lot. Like I've had so many moments in my life where I'm just like super, say, doubting myself, or being like, I'm not really a channel, or I can't really do this. And I don't know, other people might relate to this in other ways or in this too. But it's interesting because I've been seeing the number like either 737 or 37 for like 2 years straight now. Like every single day I see this number. And if like I'm having one of those moments where I'm like, I'm just not sure, and I'm like really doubting myself, it's like spirit almost like throws like, here's 37, here's 37, here's 37. And for me, that number is like, you're on your right path, like trust, like keep going, moving forward.
Yeah.
And it's really fun how you can kind of, it's almost like, I'm losing my words right now, but spirit just shows up in those moments when we need it most, even in the tiniest little ways, which are big ways in a way too, but.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Oh my God. 333 is my number. Marissa just commented. She said, oh, that's cool, Marissa. I would see 333 since I was a child. I always knew it was a message, but I thought I was crazy. No, we're not crazy.
No.
Then I saw my first medium, and she asked if I said the number 333. She said that it was my grandmother letting me know she was there. Oh, that's so powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So for me, I don't associate 333 with a particular loved one or a particular spirit. To me, it's just Holy Spirit telling me, yes, this is it. This is a go. And it really speaks to creativity and communication for me. And I just feel like those are the two areas of my life where I just, those are kind of my zones of genius. So it's like you're on your path. You're on your path when I start seeing that. Right before I got my van, or not right before, like before I got my van, I had to leave it where it was for a while and save up some money and like kind of do some things. But right when I discovered the van, I was seeing 333 everywhere. So I was like, oh my God, yes. And then I was kind of disappointed because I didn't get it immediately. So I was like, well, what was that all about? And then I went back to pay for it and get it and fix it up. And once again, 333 everywhere. It's like, okay, so there was just a little bump, but that's okay. It's always on the right path. Yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun to live this like magical life. And it's true. Once you notice it, then you almost get bombarded with it.
Yeah.
Because you can't miss it. But I do notice like when when my frequency shifts and I'm in a crap frequency, which happens sometimes, I don't see them. Yeah. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
When I was traveling last year, I don't remember why, but I got to be in like a weird fear-based state while I was on the road somewhere, and I went to this campground, and I had a really bad experience at the campground too, where it was like I woke up and there were like a bunch of men in my campsite just hanging out there. It was totally freaky, right?
Yeah.
And I knew that like it was a frequency issue for me. I like this was not working out. So as soon as I got them out, and I'm pretty brazen and like kind of a scary lady when I need to be. So I got them out, for God's sake. And then before I left, I just sat there at the lake. I just sat there at the lake and I just breathed and I just centered myself. And I did everything I could to pull the spirit into me and get back on track. And then as I was driving out, I look over and I see this wood sculpture of a bunch of rams, like 3 rams.
Wow.
Rams is Aries. That's my sign.
Yeah.
I did not see it when I went past it the night before or the evening before, because I was in such a fear state. I was cutting myself off from what was right there with God saying, hi, honey, love you. You're doing great.
Oh my gosh. That's cool.
We have our beautiful Charlotte, another graduate of the Bhava Spiritual Mission. Hello, darling. So glad you're here. And we have our beautiful Skyla. Hello, love. I always see hearts in physical form, many ways and everywhere. Ooh, I love that. Yes. Marissa, this is so cool. All this stuff from Marissa is so yummy. She's like got so much going on. You intuitive beastie. Yes, she said, when I see my grandmother trying to relay something to me, the medium said, when you see it, ask grandma, what would grandma do? And she will guide you. Oh, love it.
I love it.
Yeah. Our loved ones are so like into us, especially from the other side. And you know what's great about this? I'll just say this. Like what I have found is when we die, and we cross over, we go through what I call an integration process. And then when we're available again, our loved ones return to us without all their human baggage. So right. it's the vessel, it's the love, it's the heart, it's the relationship, it's the verbiage, it's all the things, but they don't carry their pain and their trauma anymore, and just the stuff that they kind of accumulated and dealt with as humans in a body. So it's a very magical experience to connect with a loved one through mediumship. And I always say mediumship is a healing modality more than anything else, because it provides such closure and such healing and such grace to the person who has lost the loved one. And that's why I take this work really seriously. And I know you do too. Like it's so sacred. It's very much spiritual work.
It is. It's true. Beautiful.
So beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, if you're just joining, hey, welcome. Say hi if you haven't already. Let us know you're here so we can give you some love. We're talking about the weird and wonderful ways that our psychic gifts, our healing gifts, our channeling gifts show up, and we don't even realize that they're showing up. So we want to talk about some of those things and see if you relate and you resonate, because a lot of people are very intuitive and psychic, and they talk themselves out of it right away. One of the things, like for me, an example that I'll throw out there was when I was little, I used to see faces all the time in my mind's eye, especially when I closed my eyes. And I always just thought imagination, right? Active imagination. But there's always random strange faces. It wasn't until I really woke up to my gifts and I started to understand, oh my God, I've been a little freaking medium my whole life. No wonder it's been wacky. So I'm very clairvoyant. Like I feel spirit, but I also see spirit. Whereas you were talking about you feel and you hear spirit, right?
Yeah.
How did that hearing spirit show up for you? You said earlier that like you had expected to hear a disembodied voice, but how do you actually experience that?
Yeah. So it's almost like it's in the thought forms. It's like rides your thoughts. So it almost feels like, and I'm sure people have experienced, it's like you get a thought that feels like it's out of nowhere related to nothing. And that can often be spirit, right? Yeah. So it's like, wait, where did that thought just all of a sudden come? So it's like they're actually writing your thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't hear a voice.
Have you ever heard voices though? Like when you were little, did you hear voices?
You know what? I have heard voices on the rare occasion from actual spirits.
Scared the hell out of you, I bet.
And I was like, wow, what's happening? Yeah. So
totally.
Occasionally, but most of the time, no, I don't actually hear it. It's writing those thought forms, and sometimes it's whole blocks of thought. So when I'm doing like my channeling, like for my book, it's like a whole download, like at one time, like an understanding that comes through. And it's like, oh, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. The writing the thought stream. Does it feel like it's someone else's voice or a foreign thought, or does it feel like it's writing your thoughts?
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good distinction. I'm glad you asked that question, Ingrid. Okay. So I want to go back to like the first time I did automatic writing, which I didn't totally know what that was, even when I did it for the first time. But this lady was like, she was teaching me and her daughter. She's like, I do this thing called automatic writing. This is a long time ago. And she's like, I want you to just sit and kind of close your eyes and meditate for a minute and just write anything without thinking. Just start writing. And don't read it as you're writing. Try to keep your mind out of it as much as you can. And what happened is like, okay, so I like wrote a page like really fast too, like, like write all this stuff. And I'm reading it back like after I'm done. And I go, oh my God, like that does not sound like my voice. I'm not saying it isn't, but it was an immediate feeling of like, that's not like, I wouldn't even talk like that. That's not even how I communicate or talk.
Yes.
And that was also a clear sign of like, and it made me cry. It made me emotional, like immediately, like reading it. So that was a sign.
Yeah. I always say, if you like, when you hear spirit and it resonates and rings so true, you will either laugh or cry.
Yes.
Sometimes both.
Yes.
You know who's a really good example of what you're talking about, I think, who does it verbally, is Bashar.
Yes.
Nano channels Bashar. If you hear him in an interview and you hear him channeling, it is two different people.
It is two different people completely. I love
Bashar. It's amazing. He's great. I know. I've been getting really into him lately, and like it's super resonating. So, hey, Virgil from Manchester, England. Nice to have you on here. My friend. Darren. Hi, Darren on YouTube. Wave in. Right on. Yeah, it's incredible. And it's different. Even people who are clairaudience, so they hear spirits, it's going to show up differently.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's like you said earlier, Ingrid, it's hard in a sense, like you're teaching it, but it's a discovery. It's a discovery.
Oh, I'm going to take that word and I'm going to use it all over the place now when I'm talking about
do it.
Discovery. That's perfect. Thank you. You nailed it. It is a discovery, and you just have to do it. You just have to dive in and do it. And it's really scary at first. Like the first time we pair up, I'm like, okay, go read for Harmony. Like,
and you're like,
no. You're like, I hate you, Ingrid. And then you do it and you blow your own mind. And you're like, I love you, Ingrid.
And you get to develop your own unique language with spirit.
Yes.
Which is really cool because as you're discovering it, it's like I could feel something in my body. For instance, like I'm going to give an example. A lot of times, like if I feel a lot of like contracted energy in my solar plexus, kind of the stomach area, that's often like self-worth stuff, right? Standing in your power, right? You could feel a similar thing, but it could mean something different because we all have our own language with spirit. Yeah. So what's cool is as you're discovering, you start like recognizing, okay, when I feel this, spirit's often meaning trying to show me this. And I start trusting it because I have this library built up
Yes.
This own little internal library. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, I forget who recommended that at some point. Maybe it was Yvonne or maybe it was you. Like, start documenting
Yeah.
your, like, oh, well, so Yvonne came up with psychic hit list, which
Yes.
we use to this day.
Yes.
But then also, I think she talked about just creating a book of your language of spirit is a really cool way to do it, to kind of like anchor it and keep it in.
Yes.
Yeah,
like
it's really cool. Yeah, so like that was actually a really good example. I think it was last week with Ian.
Yeah.
We were doing readings at the end, and Ian got something around the color blue and came through with this whole channeling around it. And I was like, I would have interpreted that completely differently.
Right.
Because spirit comes, but I wouldn't have seen the color blue to get what he got. But it's just, so every channel is different because spirit is coming through the lens of your perspective, of your experience, and using you as an instrument to deliver its love and healing. And it's a pretty amazing thing to be able to do.
It is.
It's also super unglamorous. Because they do one thing. What's that one thing, Harmony? What's our one job?
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. That's it.
Which, by the way, that, like, I'm glad you brought that up. That is also the hardest part too.
Yes, it
is learning how to get out of the way. And I feel like I find myself in it all the time too, where it's like I'm either connected and then I'm like, oh, I feel like I lost the connection, got to step out of the way. And for me, like spirit they always say like 3 things, and I hope I can like repeat them right now for everybody who's like interested in connecting with spirit more deeply. And the first is, spirit's always like, first, like, slow down, slow your energy down. Like, our world is moving at like a chaotic speed for the most part, right? We're just moving 1 million miles a minute. Our minds are moving 1 million miles a minute. As we like slow down, like through meditation, through breathing, being in nature, whatever your method is, as you slow down, you start to become aware of those like subtle frequencies. Because when your mind is like busy, it's hard to hear that like subtle spirit like flying in, like speaking to you. And then the second part is allowing, and that's exactly what you're talking about, Ingrid, is getting out of the way. And that is always the hardest part for me, is like that allowing part, because it's like, okay, I'm just going to let go and like just share whatever I'm feeling. And a lot of times you're like, this doesn't even make any sense, right?
Like, for you. It's for the person in front of you. Right. Yeah. But that is hard to get to, where you're just like, I just have to say this shit that makes no sense to me, and trust that it'll make sense for them. And it does.
And it does. Yeah. It does. Yeah. Yeah. So that allowing piece, that like stepping away from that judgment and just allowing whatever wants to come through. And then what helps with the allowing for me, and I can't always do it, but spirit is always like there reminding me, is that playfulness really like helps with the allowing. And that's like, if you can approach it with that like kind of playful, imaginative self-discovery, it just like opens the energy up so much more than if you're
totally. Oh my God. If you're too serious about it, it's hard to get out of the way. Because you know what? Spirit, God, source, the universe, it's not serious. It's all play. Humans make it serious. It's not serious. It's so we're designed to play, and through play, experimentation, creating.
Yes.
Yes, that is how we create our realities, through play. Another way to look at it too is like, I love play, and I'm getting more and more into like play than ever before. But because I've always been super serious, but I'm like not really into that anymore. But also like, look at everything as an experimentation.
Yes. I like that.
When we get together, it's like, okay, we're playing. It's okay if you don't nail it, because a miss is as important as nailing it, because then you know what it doesn't feel like. And therefore you can better discern what it does feel like.
That's true.
Because sometimes we get together and like we start practicing with each other, and like, even now with all of the experience that I have, like sometimes I'll just be like, I'll like spout something and somebody will say, no, that doesn't land. And then I get to go, oh, interesting. Okay, where did I get in the way there?
Yes.
Where was I taking it too seriously? And that's not a knock against me and my abilities. I am a really fucking good channel, and Harmony is a really fucking good channel. But we are human too. And so it's really important also to stay humble, to stay teachable.
Yes.
But also at the same time to trust yourself radically.
Right.
Yeah. It's an amazing amazing thing. If you're just joining, leave a comment, let us know you're here, because we can't necessarily see who's watching. So we need to know you're here. We're going to send you some love. And hey, if you want to learn about the Bhava Spiritual Mission, we are enrolling at the mission now for our ministry. We are teaching you how to tap into your unique psychic and spiritual gifts and take those out into the world. Go to bhavamission.org. The link is in the description of the video. Check out what we have to offer, and then sign up for our free event on July 6th. Come and learn more about the mission, a little bit of our background, the programs we offer, and meet the leadership team. All right. And we are going to show you our connection to source. And if you love it and it resonates with you, come join us.
Yes.
Come play.
Yes.
Come play in God and psychic and channeling. You know, I see our psychic senses and our psychic abilities as like the super highway to divine spirit. This is how we connect directly, so that you don't need me or Harmony or any other channel. Like if somebody comes to me a lot for a reading, like consistently, I go, you don't need a channel. You need to hook up directly.
Yes. I totally
agree. Nicole. We got our beautiful Nicole here. What is that emoji you got? What is that? I can't tell what that is, sweetie. I don't know.
I can't tell either.
Probably. What is that? What you got? Oh. We have somebody who's commenting who's like just kind of going off on tangents anyway. So, oh, it's a highway. Oh, Nicole, that's so clever. Okay, she was listening. Highway to spirit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, Mr. Person who's commenting all kinds of weird stuff. It's cool. Keep doing that. Like bump us up in the algorithm. If you're listening, please leave a comment. Give us a love. Share with whoever you feel would benefit from this program today, because this is what it's about, is helping you trust yourself and love yourself and moving out of fear and into love. And it's a practice. And one of the really fun ways to practice is to develop your intuitive gifts. It's like, oh my God, it's a ride.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You know what else is a really indicative of a super spiritually gifted person? Yeah. Is hypersensitivity, especially in childhood. Hypersensitivity. Oh my friend who's really, really psychic, and he's not, he's like my best friend, but he's not really in this world. But like when we get together, it's like, it's all there. And he laughs at himself. He says, I was a recreational crier as a kid. And I was like, yeah. If you were the kid who was like too sensitive and crying at the drop of a dime, right? You know what that like, and you try and shut that down, right? Because you typically don't get great feedback from that.
Oh, not at all. It is.
Oh my God, I cried all the time, and I couldn't stop myself from just getting so emotional. Yeah. And you know what that is, though? That is a sign of an empathic child.
Absolutely.
Because you're absorbing the emotions of the people around you and the adults around you. And you're just like, I always just felt like tears were right under the surface all the time, unless I was by myself. But around anybody else.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you feel the same thing?
Oh my God. I was always like, Harmony, you're being too sensitive. Like, I remember that all the time. And as a kid, it kind of developed like, oh, this is like a negative. Like, you don't want to be so sensitive. It wasn't until later in adulthood, it's like realizing this is actually a gift to have that sensitivity, because it is. It's that empathic. It's that feeling other people's energy, feeling spirit. But yeah, it was challenging in childhood for sure.
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, Marissa says, yep, I felt that. Yep, she was a sensitive child. And you know what it is, though? It's like empaths are the healers of the spiritual and psychic worlds, right? And we also tend to glom together. So you're going to find a lot of us in Bhava because we're like, ooh, safe people. It is. It's hard to be around people who are not safe. It's very, very intense. And a lot of us are very introverted and will go away and disappear for a while because we're recharging, and that's totally okay. But because you're the healers of the psychic world, your empath abilities, being able to literally absorb not just the emotions, but the physical ailments and the anxieties and fears and stresses, all that energy of the people around you, that's your diagnostic tool. Yeah. That's why it's your superpower. Yeah. But we have to learn how to let it go. Right. The trick that I use, and you can tell me, I want to know what your tricks are too, but the trick that I use is when I'm feeling overwhelmed energetically is like too emotional or too sensitive, whatever it is, how much of this is mine? And then I give it a percentage, because once you ask yourself how much of it is yours, it's really easy to determine what's not. I give it a percentage, and whatever's not, I let it go.
Yeah. I want to add like doing baths too is actually really helpful.
Yes.
Physically helpful. Getting in water, like
Yes.
washing away the energy. And then if you can, I mean, Spirit always gave me the analogy, and I know you have ones too, but Spirit always gave me the analogy of an air vent, which is really funny. But they were like, you can open and close the air vent. And if you just use the visualization of closing the air vent, you're not like allowing all the like energy to like cycle through you, which at times you do want to open it, like you're reading people or you're wanting to like, I want to use this right now. But there are times where you're like, it's too much. I need to close it down and like recharge.
Yeah. Marissa's saying like she has anxiety in crowded places. That would be a really, and next time you go out into a crowded place, use that air vent trick. See if that helps you. And then take a shower afterwards, take a bath afterwards, or identify how much of this is mine and just let it go, let it go, let it go. Yeah. And it takes practice. Nobody teaches us empathic little children how to do this. So we have to learn how to do it as adults. But we're really good at it in Bhava because we all have to learn how to do it. Like every single one of us have to be like, okay, wait, I need to not be broken in public anymore. Hey, we have our beautiful Dennis here. Hello, Dennis. Dennis has joined the Bhava Spiritual Mission. He's going through our program. We're so happy to have you, my darling friend. Welcome. So fun. Hello. Okay, Skyla, big love to you too, sweetheart. Yeah, Marissa, do that. Let us know how that works for you. We have other tips and tricks and tools too. So, whatever works, just grab hold of what resonates. Let the rest go.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah. Oh my God, so much yes. So, hey, I'm feeling like doing some channeling now. Honestly, I want to channel for people. You are a mama to a beautiful, not toddler anymore, 4, right?
She's 4 now.
No, I think that's not toddler. I think she's sort of outgrown, not quite toddler anymore. Anyway, a wonderful, beautiful child who may need your attention. Are you able to stay with us for some readings today, or do you need to sign off?
I'm going to stay on.
Okay. Cool. So I know Claudine said that she made a donation. Let me put the banner up. If you would like a reading today with me and Harmony, donate any amount you're able to the Bhava Spiritual Mission. You can donate to PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. Any of them are fine. And we will be so happy to do a reading for you. But do leave a comment and let us know that you're going to leave a donation so that we don't inadvertently jump off if we think nobody else is doing a donation, because we know that sometimes it takes a minute. I have to go grab my phone so I can check on the other sites, but I'll be right back.
Okay. So glad to have everyone here.
I should have asked. Do you feel complete with our conversation? To me, it just felt like we had reached the end.
No, it feels complete to me.
Okay, cool. Oh, good. Okay, just check in. So Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. So happy to do a reading for y'all. This is one of the ways that we get to be of service with our gifts to you. Okay, we have beautiful Claudine. All right, beautiful Claudine, let us know you're here. If you have a specific question, feel free to put it in the comments. And I'm going to pull out some cards and just show me. Oh, okay, beautiful Claudine, show me. So immediately, Claudine, I feel a pain in the side of my head. It's the right side of my head. To me, it feels stressful, feels stress related. I feel a lot of tension in my power center. I feel like you're going through a very stressful situation, something that is really testing your sense of self-security. That's an interesting way of coming through. It's not quite self-worth. I think it's more security related, but it's connected to your worth as well, because I'm feeling it in the power center. I feel a lot of stress. I feel some tension in my shoulders. Okay, so I feel a lot of stress and anxiety, and you're going through something. You're going through a lot of stress and anxiety. And what Spirit is coming through and saying is, it's not as bad or devastating as you think it is. And also Spirit says, let people think what they think. That's coming through really clearly. Let people think what they think. And when you do that, you can let go of the charge, because it doesn't matter what people think. I feel like this is tied around somebody else's opinion or value judgment. It's something that's really tying you up, because it's causing some fear and some doubts about your security. But people are allowed to think what they think. And Spirit says what people think is not going to have and in the world impact on you like you think it will. Like I'm thinking this might have to do with like a job or like your livelihood. You know, you've got some worries about this, but Spirit is asking you to put that to rest and to just continue to remind yourself people are allowed to think what they think, and they're also allowed to be wrong. And you are divinely guided and protected, my beautiful friend. You really are. Like when you can just let go and surrender, you're going to be guided to the people and the positions and the places that you need to be guided to. And you're also going to be guided to your people, to your tribe, to the people who respect you and love you and value what you have to offer. And right now, I feel like you're not so much in that space. So specifically for you, the exercise is they're allowed to think what they think. They're allowed to be wrong. They're allowed to think whatever they want. They're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to think what you think. You're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to be right. It's all good. Okay, my beautiful. Let me pull some cards for you and just elaborate on that. See if there's anything else Spirit wants you to know. Okay, just wait this out, honey. If you're going through something difficult, wait it out. Just wait it out. Everything's going to work in your favor. We have the Sun card here. You're fine. We have the Six of Wands here, Victory card here. You're fine. Whatever I'm feeling, this tension in my shoulders, this tightness in the power center, this stress headache, you know, this, it's just you're trying to hold on to an energy that you cannot possibly control because it's somebody else's trip and it has nothing to do with you. And Spirit wants you to know it is not going to have a long-term impact on you and you can just let it go. All right, beautiful. I hope that is helpful. Thank you so much for your donation and the opportunity to be of service to you. I'm going to bounce you over to our beautiful Harmony.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got that. I got a really similar, I felt the stomach like right away too. And I just heard like a standing in your power, like really strongly. So like worth, but like standing in your power. And I felt like this kind of like, I was like moving a little bit, like things felt like maybe they're a little bit rocky. And it feels like there's shifting happening right now. And so it's just like, trust some of the shifting that's related to the power center. Allow and let go. I was just hearing that. Allow and let go. I feel like you are like moving through it. And I was feeling, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of like yellow too. So same with like the solar plexus, just stand. And I almost want to say like actually do some strong stances, like actually stand really strong and allow yourself to kind of feel the energy in the body. Cause I really feel this like wanting to stand in your power, big shifts happening, but it feels positive to me overall.
A little bumpy, but positive.
It's bumpy, but Spirit always reminds me that's back to that birthing again. Like, right. It can be bumpy as we're like really shifting, but trust the process right now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautifully put. Oh, that felt really good. Claudine, thank you so much. You are so welcome. We have, hey, Sarah. So readings are by donation, my sweet love. And anybody else who's just joining on, you can, I'll put the banner back on the screen. You can donate via PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. Leave a comment when you do a donation, so we are sure not to miss it. So donate any amount you're able to. And we'll be so happy to tune in for you, me and Harmony here. We're having so much fun. We love channeling. We have our beautiful Bob. Hello, Bob. So nice to see you on here, my darling. Hey, Sherry. Haven't seen you in a bit. I'm so glad that you're here as well. So yeah, very, very cool. Let me check and see if we have any more readings. That was great. Ugh. Channeling. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I love channeling.
Yeah.
I love channeling. It is so much fun.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful thing to have that connection. And everybody does have that connection.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everyone of that.
Own version. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to learn how to tap into that, man, I was just thinking about how channeling, it's impacted my life so greatly. And I'm sure yours too, Ingrid.
Oh my God. It's like, oh my God. It's amazing because in that moment, you are connected to the universe.
Yeah.
And you know everything. It's the only way I can describe it. You may not know everything all at once, but you have access to everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
And it's like, and here's the thing, you can't access everything without your heart, without a good heart.
Right.
Without kindness, without intention, without a heart of service, a soul of service. You just can't access it because you can't, nobody will abuse it who has access to that channel. That's not necessarily true, I think, of psychic stuff, because psychic stuff and the intuitive stuff is more kind of in the world. And
Yes.
I have known
Yes.
people who have abused that. I have had my boundaries really violated. And that's something we talk about in Bhava, as well as like ethics, and permission. And that's so, so important.
It is.
To have that, to have that permission.
Right.
And that's what gives us access to that.
Right.
I know, like and Sarah, you left a comment, Cash App, and I'm checking. There you are. Okay, found you. Sorry, I'm refresh it, and there we are. But real quick, it's like I had a train of thought there, and it went pew.
It's okay.
Like, where did it go? That's something that can happen with channeling too. I don't know if you experience this too, but like your conscious mind like moves so far out of the way that you start to try and think logically, and you're like, huh? What? I'm up here, which is another reason why grounding is so important.
Yeah.
Keep you like tethered to the earth. So, hey, Kelsey. Hello, darling. Kelsey's been violated by not nice psychics too. Yeah, it's not okay. There are assholes in every walk of life. And unfortunately, spirituality and psychic readings are no exception. But you will not find that from a Bhava minister. Yeah, because we have a high standard of ethical behavior. And that is not just within the Bhava Spiritual Mission, but out in the world too. Yeah. We hold ourselves to an incredibly high standard. And so we attract people who hold themselves to that high of a standard. It's a really wonderful and safe place to be. Okay, beautiful Sarah. Let's do a reading for you. If you have a question, feel free to leave it in the comment. Otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and tune in for you, and I'll kick it off. Sarah, show me. Okay. Let me put this into words. I'm feeling energy in my heart. And I'm also feeling a mixture of anger and bitterness, along with a real strong sense of integrity and values and belief, and a sense of right and wrong. You have a strong sense of right and wrong. I feel like the anger and the bitterness that I'm feeling is because you are seeing where other people are not living up to your sense of integrity and what's right and wrong in the way that you see it. And Spirit is coming through and would like to let you know that your sense of right and wrong and integrity is a gift. And not everybody has that gift. Not everybody possesses that gift right out the gate. And they have to learn it, often through trial and error. And you having been the brunt of that, or even just seeing it in your environment, has made you very angry. So the anger can have one of two consequences. It can take you down and drop your frequency if you sort of spin in it and get into the story of it and the injustice of it, or it can fuel action for you to take that sense of integrity and honor and the right and wrong out into the world in a really powerful way and really make some incredible changes and strides. You have an energy of activism. I don't think it shows up politically for you. I'm not getting a strong sense of how it shows up for you, but that's the energy that you have. But Spirit is also coming in and saying, Sarah, be aware that you're not always right too. You're not always right. Even when you fully believe that you're in the right, sometimes there's nuances and gray areas, and to stay open to being teachable and to expanding to your library and your understanding of right and wrong as you go and as you grow. Okay. So coming back to that anger and that bitterness, don't let it take you down. Channel it. Let go of the people who have not lived up to your standards. Some people cannot live up to your standards. Let them go as quickly as you're able to, and then take that anger, which is just that fuel and your power showing itself in kind of a bastardized form, and direct that into powerful action, empowered action. Some of you have such a powerful force to you that you can knock people over sometimes inadvertently, and that's okay. You will learn how to manage that, and you will learn how to wield that as you practice. And just trust that, like sometimes if you like knock somebody over and it's kind of, and like kind of go walk over, because you have such drive and you have such power, sometimes you're going to run over toes. And when you do, and you don't mean to, you can go back and learn from that, make your amends if you need to, and then just continue to drive on. And this time driving, avoiding toes. Like it's a skill that you will master that maybe you haven't mastered yet. So that's what Spirit has for you right off the bat. Let me pull some cards for you and see what else Spirit is saying. Okay, 10 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, High Priestess, 3 of Wands, Daughter of Wands. Okay, things are shifting for you, which is really good because you've been taking on too much. And I feel like you've been taking on too much of other people's stuff. Like, other people not living up to your expectations, not living up to your level of integrity, not just with you personally, but also just out in the world. Like you see people not being in integrity, not doing what's right in your view, not doing what's right. And you're taking responsibility. You're taking that on. You got to let that go. Let people's actions go. Not everybody will be able to live up to your standards. It's just not going to happen. You need to let those people go. And then as soon as you let that go, you let that energy go, things are going to shift for you. And you're going to find yourself moving in a direction that you really want to be moving into. You're taking responsibility and taking on the energy and spinning on other people and their behaviors is keeping you out of your life's path and purpose. It's keeping you off kilter. Okay. It's taking you off your path. Let them go. And then watch yourself snap back onto your path. And then things will shift for you in a powerful way. You also have much stronger access to your own intuition, your own intuitive knowing, and you're going to get what you want out of life. The big block for you is hanging on to other people's behaviors and not living up to your expectations, to your sense of integrity. All right. Sarah, if you don't know how to ground yourself, you can go on my website, ingridhturner.com. And, I will actually put it in the comments here. I'm going to leave a comment here to the direct link for my grounding meditation. I don't know anybody who that has not gotten grounded. Grounding. Okay. Go there. If you have trouble with that link, let me know and I'll make sure and get that for you. But yes, so there's that. Okay. Bouncing you over to Harmony.
Okay. So I also really feel that strength in her energy too. It's really strong. And what I was hearing is like, you got like this warrior energy, and not in the sense of like fighting necessarily is what Spirit's showing me, but as like, you're meant to like pave the path forward for others is what I'm hearing really strongly. And so you came in with this really strong energy to be like, I feel like you're going to stand up for others that can't stand up for themselves by like creating those new pathways that other people are like, not sure if I can go down this like jungly pathway. There's all this stuff in the way. And you're like, I'll make a path. I'm going to do it. And that's what I was seeing in you. I also was feeling my throat as you were talking, Ingrid. And I felt like something around expression and communication. And maybe this is part of your gift for other people, or maybe there's something you need to express, but I just kept feeling the throat with expression and communication. But yeah, I really feel like it's a gift. So utilize it in this powerful way. Like you have an ability to really utilize this powerful warrior energy as you pave the path for others. So in your highest potential.
Ooh, yeah. No, I love that. And the thing I'll add to that too is like when you're a way shower, when you're forging a new path, of course you're going to run over toes. Like nobody's been there before. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that, Harmony. That was a great add-on. I love that.
Cool.
Okay. Next up, we have our beautiful Bob. Bob, leave a comment. Let us know you're here. If you have a question, feel free to leave it in the comments. If not, we're just going to tune in for you, sweet man. All right. Beautiful Bob. What does our beautiful Bob need to know? Show me. Bob, okay. I feel your third eye is a buzz, your throat is blocked, and your heart is in between blocked and open. What this tells me is you are so tuning into your spirituality. You are making it such a priority right now. That is so, so, so good. Interestingly, what I have is like, I have a block around speaking. It's speaking to people close to you. It's speaking truth. It's speaking what needs to be spoken. But also Spirit is telling me it's okay that you have that block right now. Focusing on your spirituality is going to naturally dissolve that block. And what comes to me is the story about, and this is not related to you in specifics. This is related in energy, which I will explain. Paramahansa Yogananda, who is the spiritual teacher who brought yoga and meditation from India to the West, he had a disciple who was an alcoholic. And the disciple said, I can't stop drinking. I won't stop drinking. And Yogananda said, that's okay. Just meditate. You can drink, but just commit to meditating. And the disciple said, okay, I will do that. And so he would meditate and he would drink. And he would meditate and he would drink. And as he meditated and focused on his spirituality, his drinking just fell away. He no longer needed that alcohol. Now, for you, it's not alcohol. For you, it's about speaking difficult truths to your loved ones. That is very hard for you. But as you focus on your spirituality, your block is going to melt away, and you're going to be able to speak these difficult truths with so much love and so much integrity that it won't feel hard for you anymore. Okay. And that in turn is going to open up the heart chakra so that you can really step into the life that is meant for you, which has a lot more space in it than your current life does. But you're doing it absolutely, quote, right, unquote, by focusing on your spirituality, meditation, prayer, getting real serious, but also playful about your spiritual practice and your spirituality, making it a priority in your life. That's going to remove these blocks. You don't have to try so hard to get this stuff out. It's going to come out naturally for you, which is really, really great. I was just shuffling cards and a bunch of them fell on the floor. I'm going to grab them because they're your cards. Hang on. Okay. Don't you love that? You pull cards and they just go flying. So, oh my God. Okay. The only block is you. Okay. It's your mind. But 6 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, and then one more, Daughter of Swords, honesty and communication. You're going to get what you need to get out, and it's going to be in the perfect timing. And guess what? Everybody's going to be happy with it. Like, you think you're going to blow your world apart. That's not what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be understanding. Everybody's going to still be friends. But you're going to get the life that you need, which is this life of sovereignty. Your Achilles heel is codependency, is sacrificing yourself and your needs for people who you love. And yes, it is because of love, but mostly it's because, but that kind of love is coming through in that you're so empathic. It's so hard for you to feel people you love hurting. And because you can feel it when they hurt, you don't want to be the perpetrator of that hurt because you feel what they feel and it's too hard. But this is going to become easier for you. Continue to focus like you are on your spirituality and your spiritual path. Thank you, beautiful Bob. Over to you, Harmony.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually was feeling his heart, and I know that I really feel like you have a really big heart, and I felt like a soft energy, like in your vibration really strongly. And I wanted to be like, oh, you're a lover. Like, you love on people really deeply, like in a really deep way. And that's what I was feeling in the heart. And you have like so much to give to them. Like, it's really deep. And Spirit just said to me, there's a strength in the softness, and to be reminded of that, maybe also because in this physical life, like, you're a male, but that there's strength in the softness. There's really beauty in that gentleness in that heart. I also felt some energy like in the solar plexus, and there might be like this energy that I feel like you're not being fully seen just yet, is my feeling. Like, you're not totally there where you're being seen. And I get that, but I feel like you're going to get there. So just keep going on the path that you're going. And it's really beautiful because I also want people to see, because it almost was like, I get to see a glimpse into that big, juicy heart. And I really want it to like shine like fully, like Ingrid saying, like open it all the way, because it's really big and juicy and beautiful. Yeah.
Well, I have good news for you, Harmony. Bob is one of our Bhava babes. He's joining the certification program, so you're going to get to just love on that juicy
All
energy.
right,
Yeah.
awesome.
You said everybody who has read for Bob says the same thing. We all go, oh my God, that heart. Every time.
I love it.
That's perfect. Yeah, lovely. All right. We appear to have reached the end of our list of readings. If anybody else would like a reading, please leave a comment now. Jump on and leave a donation. Yep. PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. We'll be so happy to do a reading for you. This is the way we get to be of service with our gifts and play ourselves. So yeah, if you are resonating with what we're talking about, if you're loving our energy, me and Harmony, and the energy that we create together, we are enrolling for the Bhava Ministry right now. We formally launch in July, and we have a free event on July 6th. Go to bhavamission.org and check out what we have to offer. I'm going to put it on the screen here so it's nice and easy. There it is. Look at that. I already had a banner. Go to bhavamission.org and learn about the program, learn more about us, sign up for our free event, come and meet the leadership team, ask your questions, and see if we all feel like it's a great fit. We are here to create. We are here for leaders, not followers. We're here for the next wave of New Earth spiritual leaders. We are a church. We are ordained ministers. We take this fucking seriously, and we also have a lot of fun with it. And we're looking for people who are resonant, who take their spiritual practice and their spiritual world and work seriously and want to really develop, understand, and hone their spiritual gifts and take those out into the world. And we do that all kinds of different ways. Harmony's writing a book. She's writing an amazing book of channeling and how to channel and examples of this. I teach at the Bhava Spiritual Mission. We have one of our ministers works in functional medicine, and she uses her gifts to go in and diagnose and heal people. We have another Bhava babe who is, does marketing and entrepreneur and business development for entrepreneurs and businesses. And she uses her gifts to conceptualize their brand and bring them to life. And there's no limit to what you can do with your spiritual gifts. We just ask you to just come check us out if you love us, because we love you. Sarah, go to bhavamission.org. It's right there on the screen, right there on the homepage. You'll learn more about the program. You'll be able to sign up for a free event right there. July 6th, folks. Sign up, come check us out. Anything to add, Harmony?
Oh my gosh, I'm lost for words right now. But yes, if you're feeling that like nudge, like take the leap, like explore. Like,
oh my God, you will not regret it.
You will not regret it.
This is an incredible community.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And Harmony's been with us since the beginning. She's been through every iteration. She's seen it all. This is the best one, right?
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay, my love. So thank you so much for joining on. Thank you for those who donated, for the opportunity to be able to connect with you and read for you and heal for you. Thank you for jumping on and sharing about your gifts and joining in the conversation. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, I think. Keep an eye out on the page. We'll update you if there are any changes. And if you have found this valuable, please like it, leave a comment, interact so it boosts us up in the algorithm, and share this broadcast with anyone who you think would find this valuable as well. Let's grow this community. So thank you all so much. I think that's a wrap. Yeah, Harmony? You feel good?
That feels complete to me.
That feels complete. Thank you so much, beautiful Harmony, for jumping on. Go find Harmony on Instagram, In Harmony with Spirit. Is that so clever? Let me put that on the banner really, really quickly. It might even already be on here. No, but I'm going to create one. Create banner. In Harmony with Spirit. I love your Instagram handle.
Thank you.
There she is. She doesn't have a website yet. So go to Instagram. You get all the updates. You'll learn about her book. Oh my God. So awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you, Harmony. I love you all so much. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Bye.